Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Thank you for today, and today we're doing, well, boys and girls, I'm glad you asked, 'cause today we're taking a look at the upcoming new update to World Tanks console. That's right, it's that time again to look at a new upcoming major update. I love doing these type of videos, but we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming new American U heavy tanks, the Yo tanks. That's right, they're coming. Hate them, love them, they're coming to World Tanks console. And we're going to be taking a look at each single one from the beginning of the tier, always way up to tier 10. And yeah, I'm pretty excited that this is finally coming to World Tanks, these funky World Tanks. I hope, though, one thing I am really hoping is that they actually do get the mechanic, like what World Tanks PC does, where if you blow off one piece of the track, you could still keep on going, but not as fast as you would normally would do because of the track mechanic. Like just pretty simple. If you know how the PC version works, then I guess you know what I'm trying to say here. But honestly, I am pretty happy with what Wargaming's been doing in 2025 here. The content that they have been releasing is nice content, pretty steady content, and there's what I mean is that if you remember me doing a video a long while back, of the beginning of 2025, showing off the roadmap of World Tanks console, where they did promise a tech tree for each of the seasons that was meant to come out. So that meant we were given the first season of, I believe it was the first season of 2025, began you know, a new Cold War tech tree line, which finishes off the Polish slash Romanian slash Czech main battle tanks and stuff within that line. Then the next season, we were given the Chinese rocket heavy tanks. And then next season after that, which was last season, was the Japanese main battle tanks we were given. And then now this season, we're given the all spanking, all singing, all new, and all dancing American Yo tanks. So pretty exciting. A lot of new content. Though, what's going to be next season's content? Well, we could be, yes, see another, of course, no more another season. But I can't say what's going to be the next seasonal type of like tech tree line. If we are looking at another tech tree line for next season, it could be a Cold War tank line, just like how they've been doing so far. So yeah, but enough for the jibber jabber. You're probably here to see the Yo tanks and stuff, and also keep an eye on the channel. I will be doing a tech tree review of them not fully upgraded. So keep in mind that this means that they're fully upgraded variations of the vehicle. So yeah, let's take a look at these new vehicles, shall we? So of course, stronger tracks, faster repairs, speed become unstoppable with these five new U.S. tanks for World War II mode. So if you don't like World War II, I guess it's not that exciting. But if you're a person that likes World War II, then this is going to be pretty damn exciting. So, of course, heavy tech tree line coming out, of course, blah, blah, blah. So, we got the Tier 6 Palaka tank, the Tier 7, the M2Y, the Tier 8, the M3Y, the Tier 9, the M6Y, and the Tier 10, the M5Y. So, yeah, and they're all starting off from the T1 heavy tank. So, do keep that as a reminder. Make sure you start grinding the XP on your T1 heavy to able to get them as well. So, it looks like notes this line does not have the reserve track mechanic seen on the seriously? No way. Seen on the PC version of this tanks. However, these with their greater track health, so they're I guess you're gonna be getting greater track health. Okay, 180 to 200 above normal and faster track repair speed. Okay, I guess they're giving us something. So 30% faster track repair speed, starting at tier 7. The Yo line personifies the heavy tank class and is a must have for fan of brawling and frontline combat. So I guess we're not getting that mechanic. I said it. I was wishing that we did, but I guess we're not. But at least I guess we got the above average, track health plus a 30% speed with these vehicles as well. And of course, they're going to be starting from tier 7 upwards. So that means the first one isn't going to really be getting the track mechanics. So yeah. But let's look at the vehicles. Sadly, that's just a big bummer right there. I'm not really too happy about that, but whatever. It is what it is, I guess. The first one is the POW Lock tank. I'm probably butchering that name so badly. Of course, it's a tier 6 heavy tank. You need 86,500 XP to get this vehicle unlocked. You're going to need about 905,000 credits to buy the vehicle. Of course, unlocked from T1 heavy and gives it way to the M2Y tank. And let's look at this vehicle. It's a weird looking shape. Probably the armor's not gonna be too good right here. Yeah. It's a weird looking tank. It's definitely very, very freaking weird. And I'm guessing it's probably gonna have a 90 mil gun. I could be wrong about that. I mean, well, here's the armor. So yeah, this is very definitely gonna be a weak spot. The driver's port and that little machine gun port is definitely gonna be a weak spot. The little plate though, I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be pretty decent with the lower plate, but I guess we're just going to wait and see how it is on console here. So, but let's look at some of the other stats. So, because this is a tier 6 vehicle, it will play up to tier 8. Its hit points is 950. Engine power is 650. Power to weight ratio is 17.57. Speed limit is 45 miles per hour forward. Now, keep remind me, this is fully upgraded, so yes. Reverse speed is 14. I was going to say 12, not the fastest. Hold reverse speed is 32. Turn to reverse speed is 35. Gun depression is 9, so at least it gets that American amazing gun depression. Gun elevation is 15. Penetration with your standard rounds is 160 to 205 with your premium, and HE gets 45. Damage is 240 for both your standard and premium rounds and 320 with your HE. Aim time is 2.4 seconds. Accuracy is 0.42. Rate of fire is 6.67 rounds per minute. Reload time is 9 seconds. Not bad. Damage per minute is 1,601. Max ammo capability is 54 rounds. You get AP, APCR, HE, and real range is 360, and signal range is 615. I almost reverse reverse those back up. But definitely doesn't seem like it's that bad of a tank. But the armor, I guess maybe is not going to hold up. I mean, we're looking at tier 6 here, okay? Even if you're not top, I mean bottom tiered in a tier 6 game, you're still fighting vehicles that have bigger guns. Like for example, Russians. You're looking at KV2s with their 152 caliber guns. Or you're looking at KV-85s, which also gets a 122 caliber gun. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the armor on these vehicles are going to hold up against anything else lower than that. I guess you can be pretty good, especially with your part of your gun mantlet here. But I guess we're just going to wait and see how these vehicles are going to hold up. And that Capoa is a big old target. So yeah, the first one might not be a keeper, but we're just going to wait and see, I guess. Next one is the M2Y, the US Tier 7 Heavy. You're going to need 85,100 XP. Purchase cost is 1,440,000 credits. Unlocked from, the POW Lock, and then it gives away to the M3Y. So this one looks a little bit more different, and you could tell it, it does have a big old weak spot on top. So yeah, not the best idea, but it is what it is. If they don't give it a weak spot, then they make it too overpowered, right? Well, yeah. And it looks like it gets a little machine gun port here, so yeah, I'm guessing that's gonna be a weak spot. Of course, that's gonna be a weak spot, and of course, this little plate is probably more likely going to be a weak spot. So it looks like a big old target from the side. So you don't really want to give your sides to anything. I'm guessing the gun mantlet is probably gonna be pretty decent. And yeah, look at that. That looks pretty nice. The rest of it, not so great, especially the Kaboa. And do keep note this is a tier 7 vehicle, so it will play up to tier 9. So yeah, not the best idea, but heck, that weak spot right there and this weak spot right here looks like something that you're going to worry about. When you're playing the same course, it looks like the little plate too is definitely going to be a weird target because there's going to be a spot right there now, a spot right here. So a spot down here and then a spot right here. It's gonna be a weird target, but oh well. Let's look at some of these stats. So, like I said, it plays up to tier 9 because it is a tier 7 vehicle. Hit points is 1,180. Engine power is 600. Power to rate ratio is 13.95. Speed limit is 40, so that's pretty decent. In reverse, 15, not the best, but not the worst either. Total traverse speed is 28. Track health, not track traverse speed. Oh my gosh, track health is 390. Oh, nice. So that's probably going to take a little bit more extra shots to track these things. So yeah, again, not the mechanic, but track repair speed is 4.8 seconds. Turn traverse speed is 28 seconds. Gun depression is 10. Again, it gets that nice American gun depression. I mean, it could be better, like the previous one has about 9, but I guess in a way you do understand because it does have this big old boxy, well, not boxy, but spot right here. So yeah, okay. Gun depression, gun elevation is 20. Depression penetration with your standard rounds, you get 202 millimeters penetration. With your premium rounds, it's 242, and the HE gets 45. Damage is 240 for both your standard and premium rounds, and 320 with HE. Aim time is 2.3 seconds. Accuracy is 0.39. Rate of fire is 6.82 minutes per rounds per minute. Reload time is 8.8 seconds. Damage per minute is 1,637. Max ammunition capability is 60 rounds. Now it looks like you get AP, APCR, HE, and of course your V range is 380 and signal range is 745. So, yeah, again, very weird looking tank. Though I'm pretty sad it doesn't get that mechanic. That would just be very awesome, where you could just keep on moving, even with your main tracks blown off. Though you would be a little bit more slower. I wish, I wish Wargaming would have, introduced that into World Tanks console. But sadly, we're not with that. We're just getting them with a little bit more of a boost of, speed and also track health and all of that. So yeah. Wait, is it speed or is it repair speed? I think it's repair speed. 30% faster. Yeah, repair speed. So, we're getting a boost between track health and repair speed. So not actual speed. So yeah. Okay. But whatever. Next is the tier 8, which again looks like a big old head on a hall, which again the low price looks like it's gonna be a weak spot. Doesn't have a very uh weak spot on the turret, unlike the previous two does. So maybe this one's going to be a little bit more better, especially with its gun. Well, gun mountlet and stuff. Not expecting the hull armor to be anything really excellent, dude, because it's American tanks. We usually don't have the best hull armor. We normally have the best. Well, is it the best? Really good turn armor on our guns as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the tank. So of course the U.S. Tier 8 heavy tank is going to cost you 161,100 XP, and it's going to cost you 2,600,000 credits. Wow. And of course, by unlocking this vehicle, you'll need to play the previous vehicle, which is the M2Y, and this will give away to the Tier 9, the M6Y tank. So let's look at the vehicle. Of course, from sides, they're all going to be very, big targets. Looks like this one does definitely get like a big fuel tank back here. Oh, my. Wonder if that's going to be something like where you could get caught on fire or something like that. Yeah, a pretty interesting vehicle, but it looks like this vehicle does get like I could be wrong by looking at this picture, a boat shape. And yep, okay, so the gun mantlet here is going to be pretty strong. It's going to have this spot right here, which is going to be pretty decent with armor. And then armor on the cheeks of the turret. The hull doesn't look that great. Especially the little plate, but appears going looks like it's going to be an interesting type of vehicle to fight against. I'm guessing once you start showing that side armor, sorry for that, guys. My dog is somewhere. I'm not sure what he's doing. But definitely looks like this side of the vehicle is definitely going to be something interesting to fight against. But let's look at some of the other things. So, because this is a tier 8 vehicle, this vehicle will play up to tier 10. So, yeah, tier 10s. Ugh. With a beta of tier 10, do you want to play tier 8? I'm not trying to scare you from playing these vehicles, but with tier 10's meta, yeah. But hit points is 1,500. Power to weight ratio is 675. Power to weight engine power is 675. Power to weight ratio is 15. Speed limit is 40 miles per hour. Reverse speed is 17. Ultra reverse speed is 28 seconds. Track health is 420. Track repair speed is 4.8 seconds. Turn to reverse speed is 36. Not 36, 30 seconds. Gun depression is 10. Okay, not really bad, but not the best, but you can't understand with this big old part right here. So, okay. Gun elevation is 20. Penetration with your standard rounds is 215. With your premium rounds is 251, and HE is 53. Damage is 320 for both your premium and HE, not HE, premium and standard ammunition, and 420 for HE. Aim time is 2 seconds. Accuracy is 0.37. Rate of fire is 6.74 rounds per minute. Reload time is 8.9. Damage per minute is 2,157. Max ammunition capability is 54 rounds. Um, your first round is AP, APCR, and EG, and then view range is 390 with signal range is 745. So not overall bad news, I guess. In some opinions, some people might actually like the idea of this vehicle. Let me know. Next one is the M6Y, which this is where the vehicle is starting to get its unique capabilities. Though I'm wondering about these two little components right here. They look like they're going to be weak spots. So yeah, and of course, the low price is going to be a different weak spot, like normal. But yeah, and the turret looks like it's going to be pretty meaty. Hopefully, of course, it's a tier 9 heavy tank. It's going to cost you 233,600 XP, and purchase cost of money or credits wise is 3,620,000 credits. Of course, if you get this vehicle, you're going to need to play the M3Y, and it will give way to the tier 10, the M5Y. So yeah, but let's look at it again. They all have this like big fuel tank. So, and again, from the sides, you could tell it's going to be pretty much a big target. Um, yeah, pretty much a big target. I wonder if this is going to be able to catch the vehicle on fire or not. And here's the little plate, which looks like it's definitely going to be pretty much a weak spot, like normal. And these two up here, I'm guessing that is the same thing. So I'm correct. But it looks like there's some spots right here is strong right here. So probably don't shoot underneath it. And don't shoot over on these side bits here. And definitely don't shoot near the gun mantlet and stuff. I'm sorry for that, guys. If you can hear my dog barking, hang on, I'll be right back real quick. Sorry for that. Uh, Not sure what he was barking at. Scooby has a bit of sense in some kind of video, doesn't he? So definitely, yeah. I mean, looks like you're gonna have a tough area over here, but these right here, like I said, they look like they're definitely gonna be weak spots. So with the gun depression, that could probably gonna be something that the enemy is definitely going to aim for, especially if you have an accurate type of gun. You're probably going to really penetrate those. But we're just gonna see with the armor modeling, um, how bad the armor is on those two Kabobas. But let's look at the fully upgraded variation of this vehicle. So, of course, the price up to tier 10. It's a tier 9 vehicle. So, yeah, one matchmaking because it's second to last of the lineup. So hit points is 1,900. Engine power is 780, which I am sorry for that, boys and girls. Hang on, I'll be right back real quick. All right, I'm back. So I'm sorry for that. Where were we? So we were on engine power, right? Yeah, hit points, engine power. Engine power is 780. Power to weight ratio is 16.78. Speed limit is 40 miles per hour. Reverse speed is 17. Total reverse speed is 28. Track health is 440. Track repair speed is 4.8. Turn traverse speed is 34 seconds. Gun depression is 10. And gun elevation is 20. So it looks like from, I believe it was from the tier 7 up to tier 9, it looks like we get the 10 gun depression from the board. Penetration with your standard ammunition, you get 253. With premium rounds is 310, and HE is 60. Damage is 420 for both your standard and premium rounds, and 530 for HE. Aim time is 2.3 seconds. Accuracy is 0.37. Rate of fire is 5.88 rounds per minute. Reload time is 10.2 seconds. Damage per minute is 2,470. Max ammunition capability is 45 rounds. Your ammunition is AP, heat, and HE, so no longer APCR. And then we get view range 390 and signal range is 745. So again, tier 9 looks pretty interesting, but I think you really want to see the big boy of this lineup is the tier 10. And this vehicle has no weak spot on the top, but the low price is probably definitely going to be a weak spot. So definitely, you're going to just want to show your turn. That's all you're probably going to want to do with this vehicle. But of course, what is the a few things about the vehicle? Nation, US, tier 10. Of course, it's a tier 10 vehicle, heavy tank, XP you're going to need to research the vehicle is 316,600 XP. Purchase cost is 6,100,000 credits. And of course, by unlocking this vehicle, you'll need to play the previous, the M6Y. And of course, this is the tier 10, so it's the end of the branch. But yeah, look at that vehicle. That looks so freaking beautiful. Again, some of a big target from the rear on the sides. You can definitely tell. A very tall target too at that. And again, it gets this like little fuel box thing in the rear. Not sure what that about, but it definitely looks like American from the back of the turret and stuff like that. That looks a very long gun. And wow, yeah, it looks like we're going to get some good, decent type of like armor plate right here around the gun mantlet over here underneath it. Just so currency, these spots right here, just underneath it. So like PC, it looks like what you can do is lift your gun upwards and then bait people from shooting below it. It looks like that's going to be the way, maybe? Maybe not. Especially down here, you could probably bait people from shooting that. So that spot down here, and then there's a spot over here that's gonna be armored. So it's gonna be a pretty interesting vehicle to play with overall. So let's take a look at some of these stats of the vehicle. So it plays up to tier 10 because it is a tier 10 vehicle. Hit points is 2,200. Engine power is 750. Power to weight ratio is 18.44. Speed limit is 40 miles per hour. Reverse speed is 17. So it goes pretty quick and forward, but not in reverse. Ultra reverse speed is 30 seconds. Track health is 450. Track repair speed is 4.8 seconds. Turn traverse speed is 36 seconds. Gun depression is 12. So it gets less gun depression than the previous two. Or is it the higher the number? I'm kind of confused here. Are we thinking of higher the number, more better? Or is it lower the number, better your gun depression is? I mean, this one right here, I can understand because of this big old spot here. Same with this one, and same with this one. This is the only one that gets 9 degrees because it has nothing really in the way. So, okay. I mean, this one kind of has this in the way, but you look at the turret and it's so up high that does it. I mean, I could be wrong. Of course, gun elevation is 18. Penetration with your standard rounds, you get 258. With premium rounds, 310. HE is 60. Damage is 440 for both your standard and premium rounds, and about 530 for HE. Aim time is 2.3 seconds. Accuracy is 0.37. Rate of fire is 5.66 rounds per minute. Reload time is 10.6. Damage per minute is 2,490. Max ammunition capability is 45 rounds. You get AP, heat, and HE, and view range is 400, and signal range is 745. So overall, I have to say the tier 10 looks like a beautiful beast, though the gun depression could be a little bit deciding. I mean, its armor for its turret doesn't look that bad in a lot of ways, but due because of the shape of the turret too, and if you're looking at kind of straight on, it's gonna be a pretty bouncy vehicle, and lots of it's showing its, its hull, especially its little right here. But I don't think there's gonna be a lot of things that's going to be really worried about not pinning this part. This part, don't even shoot at. It looks like also some spots right here underneath the turret. Don't shoot at. Definitely don't shoot right here around the gun mantlet. It looks like, and a little bit of a spot right here. But overall, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It looks like a nice vehicle. I gotta say, I'm probably going to enjoy playing up to this line. Though I like to know, are you guys excited for this? Or are you not excited? Or you just a mixed feel about these American new tanks? And if you're a World War II player, are you extremely excited, or are you a Cold War player and you just don't care? Or are you a person that plays both World War II and Cold War and you're excited for any new content that comes for both World War II and Cold War and World Tanks Con? So let me know down below in the comments about that. But I had to say, hate them, love them, they're coming to World Tanks Console, and I know I'm very excited for seeing these types of vehicles and seeing how these vehicles are going to play on World Tanks Console. Sadly, like I said, it's pretty freaking sad that we don't get the same mechanics like the PC variation gets, where if you blow, it doesn't start from tier 6, but it does start from tier 7 and higher, where if you blow this piece of track off, you will have another piece of track back here that helps you keep on moving. And then if someone blows this one off, you still have another one on the other side, but it will reduce your speed, and if someone shoots at it again, you will definitely be mobilized within one spot. So I think that would have been a nice mechanic to see. We got the rockets, but why aren't we getting this type of mechanic? I really don't know. I really thought this would have been a nice mechanic to have in the game. It would be a new mechanic. It would have been an awesome mechanic to have because of, you know, getting your one track blown off and then sitting still. Either you're using a premium repair kit or you're using a standard repair kit, whatever one you're using, you just got still would have to blow it. But if you get your track off, you don't really have to blow it right away. You could wait until either someone shoots the same track again, which then would disable the other track, or wait till they shoot this one, and then you would definitely be a lot more slower, but you could still get to somewhere with a lot more slower speed and then repair your tracks. This way, you're not really getting that type of mechanic. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think everyone on World Tanks Contra here was really hoping forward for, this type of mechanic to come to the game. I know I was. I definitely was. I guess maybe I just got blown out of the water here, just rising. We're not getting that mechanic. So yeah, it's pretty sad, but it is what it is, I guess. Um, I really was hoping forward for that new mechanic. Let me know if you were as well, guys. Were you excited for these vehicles with the new mechanic? And did you get upset about hearing about this? Let me know down below in the comments. I know I'm pretty sad about it, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try to enjoy these vehicles. Yeah. Hopefully, maybe they decide to give us the mechanic, but then that will probably piss a lot of people off. Give us the mechanic. But at least it's not a premium vehicle, right? Yeah. That's probably the downside though. No mechanic, no new mechanic on these vehicles, unlike the previous Chinese vehicles got in the rocket tanks. So the rockets. Not rocket tanks, but rockets on them. But yeah, let me know what you think about these vehicles there, guys. Were you excited to hear about these vehicles? And were your popped when you heard that they weren't going to get the mechanic? And also, let me know as well, are you enjoying that you want these vehicles in the game if you're a World War II player, or do you not care about them if you're a Cold War player, or you're just in between, you like both World War II and Cold War. Let me know down below in the comments. But that's gonna be it for this video there, guys. I hope you guys really did enjoy it. If you guys did, please press a thumbs up on the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys want to. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.